We're midway through a spring season that's on pace to meet all the expectations, with awesome sequels and anticipated shows like Oshinoko knocking it out of the park, and things can only get better here on out. So now's a better time than any to start looking ahead into the summer season. A famed season of blockbusters. What does summer have in store for us in the world of anime? Come join me as we take a tour of what the coming season has to offer and check out the most anticipated amongst the upcoming summer anime. We start off with what seems like a blast from the past in Reign of the Seven Spellblades.
キンバリーで無事に卒業できる生徒は8割ほど。残り2割は魔に飲まれる。
The prestigious magic school Kimberly welcomes new students every spring. Complete with lavish parades to welcome aspiring upstarts, it's the perfect academy where nothing bad ever happens. Our protagonist, Oliver Horn, enters the bright gates of Kimberly and quickly gets acquainted with his new friends and a sword-wielding girl he takes a particular interest in. Sure, the curriculum may be rough at times, and so are the instructors, but it's nothing too out of the blue, right? However, things do seem amiss, and when night falls, there may be more to the Magic Academy than meets the eye. Dark secrets lie beyond its wall, waiting to be discovered by those daring ones. What awaits our two students in their foray into the abyss? A brainchild of the guy who brought us Alderramen in the Sky, Reign of the Seven Spellblades takes the Magic Academy premise that was popular in the 2010s and takes it through a surprisingly dark and heavy turn, doing away with the usual overpowered protagonist shtick these shows tend to have. This title looks to give us a more cynical outlook at the genre, but it's surely a magical ride that seasoned anime fans can enjoy. Coming up next at number 9 is Helk.
人間の勇者だと。
人間が憎い。人間滅ぼそう。
With the defeat of the Demon King and the celebration of humanity, it's time to go back to the drawing board. There's nothing for the demons to do but to regroup, so they organised yet another tournament to determine who will inherit the title of Demon King. However, there's a bit of a wrinkle in the proceedings. Within the field of contenders, the one that's projected to win it all is none other than a human hero Helk, the same guy who defeated the previous Demon King. And it's not that he's lucky in the current tournament. The guy easily beats his demonic competition, all while proclaiming his hatred for humanity. Looking to set things into order before things get out of hand, Red Vamirio seeks to uncover Helk's true intentions. Helk as a manga is a title that creates a great balance of serious and light-hearted. With the wacky premise comes a lot of comedic moments as we get to see the developing relationship between the over-the-top hero and tsundere demon. Their journey is a lot of fun to follow, and intertwined between those light-hearted moments are some surprisingly heavy content that really caught me off guard. It's a wacky show with a wacky set of characters, but it's something you won't regret watching even if you're a fan of the more serious shows. We proceed to the next entry, Dark Gathering.
これが僕と彼女の出会いだった。
Being spiritually attuned has its major downsides. For the ghost-hating Getaro, it takes a drastic turn. Bad experiences and his knack for attracting spirits sets him on the path to becoming a shut-in, something that he's only now trying to overcome with the help of his childhood friend Eiko. One of his steps in his rehabilitation involves taking a job as a tutor. And as luck would have it, however, he finds himself tutoring Eiko's cousin Yayoi, someone who's just as spiritually attuned as he is. Yayoi, on the other hand, yearns to encounter spirits, and suddenly Getaro finds himself slowly drifting away from the job's original purpose and delving back into the world of spirits that he hated. The supernatural genre has had a resurgence in the past couple of years, it seems. You've got to thank Jujutsu Kaisen for that, and to a lesser extent, some new anime for old-time favourites like Bleach that keep the momentum going. For those looking for a more horror-oriented take on the genre as opposed to action, you may fancy Dark Gathering. It starts off strong and really holds you tight with a series of cliffhangers that always keeps you on your toes. It's got the creepy factor down, and it's looking to be one of the more promising hits this season.
これからやっていけるのか。
This summer also sees the return of Baki.
巨大隕石の衝突。それは地上のすべてを凍らせた。巨大な恐竜も昆虫も。そして戦い王も。
If you think you've seen it all in the world of fighting anime, well, you're not prepared for what Baki's got in store for you. The thing is wild and so over the top, and just when you think it's all over, the next part of Baki Hanma promises to one-up things even more. That's a lot to say about this show, considering it's got action scenes that go really hard and people throwing out insane feats like nothing. I mean, just check this out. How about seeing our protagonist go face to face with a million-year-old Neanderthal who's sure to give him a run for his money? And that isn't even the tip of the iceberg as to what's to come in Baki as a whole. If you're fond of some high-octane violence and over-the-top action, the type that can give JoJo a run for its money, there's no reason not to get started on Baki. And if you're caught up with it, why are you letting this next season pass you by? Now, before we move on to more exciting anime on the list, I'd like to take the time to thank today's sponsors, Captor Clash. Captor Clash is a thrilling mobile game that lets you experience action RPG goodness on the go. With nice graphics and gameplay that's easy to get the hang of, there's no better travel partner for you than this game. I really like Captor Clash for the whole anime aesthetic. The game's got that down pat, and with the slew of heroes to choose from, this is one of the best fighters for the person who wants their quick fix. I'm digging these designs for real too. Match yourself with people from all over the world while you're at it. With how quick the game is to pick up and the number of characters to choose from, you'll quickly find those hours fly away as you spend time tinkering and mastering this game. It's one of the best fighting games you can grab for the mobile phone, and if the gameplay and aesthetics aren't enough to convince you, perhaps these rewards for new players will. Check these out. Great gameplay, cool character designs, and lots of rewards waiting for you. There's no better time to start Captor Clash than today. Check out the link in the description box if you want to take the dip into this up-and-coming fighting game and we can have our fun together. Now back to the show. Zom 100 is up next, and man am I excited for this one. Dead inside is something people these days often use to describe themselves, but for 24-year-old Akira, he embodies that phrase. Completely broken by the mundane life as a cog in the stressful machine that's the Japanese work system, he looks to just waste his life away. If only there could be an event to give some spice in his life, right? Well, that wish becomes a reality when he bears witness to his landlord eating another tenant. Turns out the entire city is teeming with zombies, and while it's not exactly the ideal situation for a person like Akira, it's the type of thrill that makes him feel even more alive than before. The race against Doomsday begins with him looking to finish up his bucket list of things to do. Zom 100 looks to be one of those niche hits, featuring a character relatable to a sizable chunk of the anime-consuming audience, and while setting that ought to keep us surprised. It's a good blend of comedy and flashiness to get people hooked on this insane ride, and it could very well be the hidden gem of the season. Bungo Stray Dogs returns, and it's here for its 5th season.
間もなく世界が裂ける。そしてその裂け目からどす黒い混沌が這い出してくる。
If you went back in time, say around a decade ago, and told me that they'd be committing this much to Bungo Stray Dogs, I wouldn't have been surprised. But 5 seasons in, and here we are, with more of this seinen blockbuster that continues to captivate its fans. Whether you're someone who loves it for the intriguing setup and world, or just prefers its fights, if you like Bungo Stray Dogs in any capacity, then this 5th season ought to be on your radar. For the 5th season, which I personally think should have been called Season 4 Part 2, we continue with the Sky Casino arc, right where we were left with a cliffhanger the last time around. The best part of the arc is yet to come, so that ought to get you excited for the climax of this interesting storyline. Bungo Stray Dogs has been decently consistent with its quality, and you should expect all the same kind of anime goodness in this 5th season. Rurouni Kenshin is the next in line to make its big return.
抜刀斎、お前に恨みはないが、最強の維新志士としてここで死んでもらう。
Rurouni Kenshin has been one of the most influential titles in the 90s, and it's shown that in a big way, with a lot of supplementary material, live-action adaptations and such. The ride's not nearly over yet, however, as we're here in the year 2023 awaiting a remake that I honestly didn't see coming. It's true, however, and Rurouni Kenshin will be remade as an anime looking to retell the story to new anime fans. There are many things that gave Rurouni Kenshin the reputation it has, ranging from great character writing, a great sense of stakes and tension, and some of the most iconic scenes that 90s kids still rave about today. The story of the wandering swordsman is a timeless tale, and there's no reason why the youth in the modern era wouldn't be able to appreciate one of the best examples of anime writing genius from back in the day. I am a fan, so I can't wait for this modernised take on the classic, but even if you've never heard of Rurouni Kenshin before, then just give it a try. If the anime team doesn't mess this up big time, it's going to be worth your time.
たとえ拙者の本性が人斬りだとしても拙者は 二度と人斬りには戻らぬ。
Speaking of continuations of legacy series, Bleach looks to continue its role this summer.
恩師には死神を超えてもらう。
なんだって超えてやるさ。だからこそ。
To say that Bleach's return has been a resounding success would be underselling it. It's by far the biggest and most glorious recovery I've seen for a legacy series. Around a decade ago, it was quite a polarizing series with its fair share of criticism, but you wouldn't remember that time after watching Thousand Year Blood War and seeing the insane reception it got. The whole change in tone and cutting away filler really did wonders, and it helped that series like Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen helped pave the way for this comeback. Well, everyone's ready for more, and Bleach Thousand Year Blood War makes its return this summer. The last part ended with some crazy revelations and a cliffhanger that kept everyone waiting. Expect to see even more intense fights in this season, with both Shinigami and Quincy about to release the big guns in their upcoming fights. We'll also get a battle that wasn't presented in the manga, so that's something to look forward to. Thousand Year Blood War has been excellent in supplementary content, and this new fight is something that really gets me hyped up.
僕は石田瓜生、クイーンシーの誇りにかけてお前を殺す。
Mushoku Tensei Season 2 is also this summer.
思い出せ。この世界に来た時のこと。
Probably one of the most well-made isekai titles in the past few years, all eyes are on the second season of Mushoku Tensei. The first season made waves, showing a very balanced take on the genre, giving us everything the fans want, from the tropes to the excellent world building. Rudius's journey and adventures in the first season have been very captivating, so who's excited to see how things go when he grows a little bit older? New challenges, new dangers, they await in this next chapter, along with the return of who I feel was a very underrated character in the first season. There's a lot to be excited for in the second season of Mushoku Tensei, but I'll say that it's not exactly an anime you can appreciate completely without watching it from the start. So go and start watching the first season before the summer. Isekai has never been this well produced before. If you absolutely must watch an isekai, then make it count and go for Mushoku Tensei. Lastly, we finished strong with the second season of Jujutsu Kaisen.
ガキンチョの護衛と抹消。弱い奴らに気を使うのは疲れるよ。サトル、弱い者いじめは良くないよ。
Jujutsu Kaisen has firmly established itself as one of the biggest shonen blockbusters of this generation. I've always said that it's done that on the heels of groundbreaking fight animation, a very strong cast of characters that feel relevant, and character dynamics that keep you surprised with every twist that gets pulled on us. We've spent the past season watching highlights of our main trio and especially Gojo, and we've been blessed with insane battles to remember. The best part of it all? We're not even at the exciting part yet. Jujutsu Kaisen's second season takes us to the Shibuya arc, which for me is the peak of the series as of the time of this writing. The stakes have never been higher before, and in between the great fights are lots of moments that ought to get us hyped and sad. Prepare yourself for a whirlwind of emotions entering this season, and I'm not even sure all that preparation is going to be enough. I can't wait for the Shibuya arc, and I'm sure the die-hard Jujutsu Kaisen fans have it way worse than I do.
ビビってんの？なんとかなるって。
私たちは最強なんだ。
Now, which one is your favourite amongst the shows listed? Do tell me in the comments section down below. Once again, we thank Captor Clash for sponsoring this video. Check it out through the link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this preview of an awesome upcoming season. I'm always looking forward to the next video to put out, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you, and this is ViniiTube checking out.